Welcome back. I'm Brandon, the HBAR Bull, and I do some contract work for the HBAR Foundation. Adsdax and Yamgo are some of the original builders in the Hedera ecosystem, and we're lucky enough to have their Chief Product Officer, Ryan Davies, here today to give us the inside track. Welcome, Ryan.
Hello, Hallie. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. So, to kick this thing off, Ryan, let's get into some Hedera history going all the way back to 2018. How did you get involved in developing Adsdax and Yamgo on Hedera?
Well, I'd probably have to take you a little bit further back than 2018, to be honest.
All
I
right.
joined Yamgo in 2012, and we were a mobile TV company. And what we did is we contact content providers, so people like Sony Viacom and all these different TV channels, and we'd say, hey, we've got a mobile service. Can we take your satellite stream or some of your video on demand content, and we'll turn it into an internet TV channel? So we were doing that, and the majority of our audience were people in Asia who were on really low-end phones. So they were using feature phones when everyone was switching to Android and iPhones, which was fantastic. We had millions of viewers, but the problem was we couldn't monetize those because the technology didn't exist to monetize those old phones.
Okay.
So we decided, well, we'll just invent it then. If everyone else says it can't be done, we'll just do it. Why not? There must be a way. So we came up with a way to monetize all of these old devices and show adverts in our streams. And then we'd go to events and people would say, well, how are you actually doing this advertising? Can you do it on my site? And then that one person became 5 people, became 10, became just tons of businesses saying, well, we want to do this. We still have this audience. So then we started working in ad tech, and we said, right, we'll bring publishers in and we'll give them our technology. And then we started developing our own advertising tech for smartphones and things like that. So that was going pretty well. And then, the problem with advertising is it's owned by massive companies. So, your Apples, your Amazons, your Facebooks, they own a massive portion of the market, and they're trying to squeeze the life out of anybody else who wants to get involved. So we were struggling with the same thing of, we were being priced out and we're being pushed out, and Google Chrome making changes, which meant we couldn't display our ads in the same way. So myself and Ian, the CEO, we were looking at different ways and that we could make our product unique. And we said, well, there's a massive problem with fraud. There's a massive problem with tracking. How can we solve this? And I think it was as early as 2015, we said, why don't we look up blockchain? So we had a look and was, okay, yeah, well, that would be great. Yeah, we could use it, but it's too expensive. And the technology is just not there yet. It's not big enough for advertising, the TPS we do. So we sort of shelved it for a bit, and then a couple of months would go by and we'd have another conversation and say, well, could we do it? No, the technology still doesn't exist. So then we carried on going, and eventually we heard about Hedera. So, oh, this is fantastic. This is everything we need, but it wasn't ready. So, okay, we'll just wait. So we were waiting and waiting. We said, well, we'll build a proof of concept. We built a proof of concept on Stellar, and it worked okay. We had problems with unpredictable fees. But the main thing is we turned it on, and somebody who worked there at the time was said, oh my God, you can't do this many transactions per second. And they turned us off. So that was
They
great.
turned you off from a public network.
Yeah, we were blocked off from accessing the nodes.
Oh, wow.
So every time we try and go on another node, they would turn us off because they said you're killing the network. I was like, okay, well, this is what you wanted, right? You wanted developers to use your technology, but obviously not at that scale at the time. Things might be different for them now.
Sure.
But Ian managed to track down somebody from Hedera at an event, I think in 2017 maybe, and they said, look, it's coming, and we'll be ready for you, and the tech will work. And we said, it'll definitely work. Yeah, it'll work. And you won't turn us off? No, we won't turn you off. It'll work. So yeah, they lined us up for the mainnet launch, and then the story, is, ever since we've been live with Adsdax. We've been running all of our ad transactions through it, and hopefully, well, I think some of our customers are very happy with what we've done and how we've made their pipeline more efficient. We've saved them money. We've shown them where fraud is happening, and in places where we couldn't stop it, we said, right, well, just don't use that publisher then because all of their traffic is fraudulent. So we're just carrying on with that, really.
Well, let's pull on that thread a little bit. Adsdax has been the largest contributor of transactions to Hedera from day one, as you said at network launch. Can you explain to us what Adsdax does exactly and how things are going for that business?
Yeah, sure. So when you load a web page on your mobile device or on on your laptop, certain things happen. So in the background, a bunch of advertisers will try and compete for the ad space that is on that page. Some people will do it in a way that certainly myself and Adsdax is against, where they'll try and track you across the internet and get all of your data and try and match you up to some lists and things. We don't do that. We do what we call brand building, which is, okay, you're on a newspaper site and this section is talking about cryptocurrency, so we'll show you a cryptocurrency related adverts. I don't think it needs to be more intrusive than that. But at that time, you load the web page, and our ADK, as we call it, our code on the page will say, right, we've got a user in this country who's on this website, and it will ping a request for an advert to our server. And we'll go through our anti-fraud logic at the front end, and then we'll pull an advert down and we'll display that advert to you. So what advertisers want to know is, did you actually see that advert? We loaded the advert on the phone, but did you scroll past it too quickly? How long did you look at the advert for? Did you click through? Did you give it a thumbs up? Or what were your interactions with the advert? So what Adsdax does is every one of those points of interaction, we offer the advertiser the chance to track that on blockchain to see when they happen. So the two reasons for that are, one, it's proof of what happened. This is what they're paying for, so
Sure.
they can see exactly where they're spending their money and what site it was on, who did it. But the other thing that we do is the order of events. So because Hedera can give us consensus, what we can track is, hang on a second, this person watched the end of a 30-second video, then they loaded the advert, and then they pressed play on the video. That can't be. That's impossible. They can't watch a video before they press play.
Sure.
So those are the sort of things where we can go back through and provide a full auditable list of, these are the events in the order they happened. That's clearly wrong. There's clearly fraud there. And then we can investigate what happened. Was it a genuine technical error, which it usually isn't? Or was it some sort of fraud going on? Either the user is fraudulent or the publisher, the website itself, might be trying to do fraud to get a few extra pennies out of the advertising.
So, I mean, you were talking about how you can find the fraud. What are the actions that are taken after? Is it mainly just the advertiser, not engaging with that site or something along those lines?
Yeah, they can be. There's a few different solutions. So we have a front end sort of, is this a robot check before we even ask for an advert? So we try to get as much of the fraud away before it even comes to getting an advert. But it depends on really the level of fraud. So in some cases, it might be, we have a 5% fraud potential on this website. So we make the advertiser aware and we can adjust prices, and we could say, oh, you might want to over deliver by 5% on this website because some of the traffic is a little bit questionable.
Sure.
If it's a massive ratio, we say, right, that publisher is gone, they've broken our rules. There's 130 things, a list of the things they can't do. If they've broken one of those 130 rules, they're gone. And in some cases, it'll be, okay, yeah, we picked up a small amount of fraud. We can give you either credit on your next ad campaign, or we can give you some of the funds back because it didn't go to a real person. It wasn't a real advert.
Sure. I mean, it sounds really useful. But, I've been fascinated with what Adsdax has been doing for a long time. But you have a second project that you're working on, and that's Yamgo. You have some recent developments that are really exciting. Can you explain what Yamgo does and the latest features that you're going to be bringing to market?
Yeah, sure. So Yamgo is really the second part of Adsdax. So obviously with Adsdax, we said, right, there's an opportunity to differentiate ourselves, make ourselves unique, and to solve the problem of ad fraud. But our ultimate vision was, this data is being abused by so many advertisers, and you don't go on a website and ask for an advert, and perhaps if the adverts were better and were less intrusive, you wouldn't mind, but you play a role as a person in the advertising process, in the marketing process. It uses your data on your phone, it uses your battery power. So you should be rewarded for your involvement in advertising. If people are monetizing your digital consumption, you should be making money from that digital consumption because it's your consumption. So Yamgo is the start of the vision to make that a reality. So what we currently have is, people can go to Yamgo, they can sign up, they can download an app and play it, and they earn a reward for downloading that app or playing that game. They can watch video ads with us, so they can watch adverts about Yamgo or Hedera or potentially other brands and projects coming up.
Sure.
And they can make money from that. And I'm sure if every time you went on YouTube and saw an advert and you were paid 5 pence, you'd probably be a lot more wealthy than you are now. Although, to be fair, I don't know how wealthy you are. You might be next to
Oh
Jeff
no, I think
Bezos.
you're going down the right track. You're going down the right track.
But that's ultimately the vision, is that we want people to sort of own that relationship with the advertiser and say, wait a second, it's not equal at the moment, and we want to make it equal. If you as a person are consuming content and you're generating money for somebody else, then that money should go in your pocket, really.
And can you get into Club Yamgo a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So Club Yamgo is what we've done with Yamgo is, so we've reached almost 200,000 people who've signed up and tried Yamgo. But the main driver of that was actually, we didn't just want it to be us giving crypto rewards to people who are already involved in crypto. We wanted to bring it to a mainstream audience. So that's what we actively focused on, is people who've never used cryptocurrency before in their lives. Through Yamgo, HBAR has been the first currency they've ever owned, and it's been their first interaction with a blockchain DLT sort of cryptocurrency. With Club Yamgo, we're trying to enhance that and bring even more people and more adoption.
Mm-hmm.
So at the moment, we have Yamgo, where people can earn rewards, but they don't really have much they can do with that HBAR once they've earned it. So with Club Yamgo, what we're doing is we're trying to build a community of people who, one, they can make more digital assets, they can make more money, they can stake that HBAR and put it to work. And then we give them daily rewards in the form of Yamgo. But also we want to foster a community, because we are trying to connect all of these brands with an audience. But the crazy thing about advertising is, if you've got an audience of 1 million people, that's viewed as being small. So Club Yamgo is a way for us to try and grow that audience, to get a more engaged audience. And then we can say to brands, look, this might not be 20 million people per day, but actually this is an engaged audience of people who they have assets and they're interested in your product and what you're offering, just not in the way you're currently offering it through your Google ads and your Facebook ads.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you interact with these people without taking all of their data, without taking advantage of them? You can save all the money on the middleman, and you can speak directly to them, and they can own that relationship. So that's sort of where we're going with Club Yamgo. It's all a part of this bold vision to, like I say, make the relationship more fair.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. So how do Yammies fit into this picture?
Well, Yummies is the next step, which is, how can you engage with your HBAR more, and how can you actually spend it? How can you use it? We want people to be used to spending a few HBAR here and there, or used to spending their Yamgo token just every day, just in little drips and drops. So Yummies is a metaverse gaming experience where you can collect NFTs of these ant-like creatures, and you can battle them against your friends, and you can evolve them and grow them through your stats, and then hopefully they may be worth more value because you put time in. And again, the more you play and the more you consume, realistically, the more you should be rewarded.
Makes sense again. So from a builder's perspective, what are your thoughts on how the Hedera ecosystem is developing?
It's coming along nicely. Naturally, I'd want it to be faster, and I want us to move at lightning pace, but it is a long-term project. I mean, even at Yamgo, we have a 20-year roadmap of the overall vision of where we want to go to. Obviously, Hedera, they've said it's a 100-year project, and yeah, I agree, and I can see where they're going. We've seen growth in transactions from launch. We've seen growth in account adoption, and the features and the NFT community is just exploding. So I think it's all moving in a positive direction. I'd just like to move things faster and get more eyeballs on Hedera while we can.
I hear that. I hear that for sure. So what are you excited most about over the past year, and what are you looking forward to most in the next year?
Well, I'm looking forward to Club Yamgo, I've got to be honest. Being able to stake your HBAR. Club Yamgo lets you stake your HBAR without you losing control of your HBAR. It stays in your wallet. You never have to lock it up. There's no fees. There's no lockup period, no thresholds. Your HBAR is in your account, and every day you'll get free Yamgo for it. So naturally, I'm looking forward to that and developing our products. What I've quite like seeing, and what I'm looking forward to more, is the adoption of the Hedera improvements proposal, that sort of sector. So it's really nice to see developers now who are actively engaged and saying, right, I've got this idea and this is how we can make it better. And we've got a few ideas that we'd like to put forward. But the fact that you're finally seeing these ideas go from white papers and text documents to real features on the network that you can use, I think for me that's the biggest thing, because there is no limit then on the potential of what the platform can be.
Yeah. Yeah. So, are there any collaborations that Yamgo has in the works or exciting customers that are going to be using Adsdax in the near future?
Yes, but
Can you talk
I
about
can't
them?
really, I can't really talk about them. No.
I gotcha.
I mean, so what I can say is that we've spoken with brands and we've talked about the potential of of Club Yamgo and of Yamgo being the token launch pad, and would you be interested in launching your branded token to these consumers and having
Hmm.
them spend your branded token on your website? And the answer has been yes. And we've had a few conversations with a few brands who have told us, if you have the audience, we will jump on board and we will sell our products. And yeah, we would love to launch our tokens on Hedera, and we would love to get involved with NFTs and the whole scene. So yeah, we do have plans, and I know it feels like we've been laying a lot of groundwork over the last couple of years, but it's all part of this bold vision of bringing brands and the community together. But yeah, we have some people. Unfortunately, I can't name names, but they are there, and it's exciting.
Yeah. Well, it's an exciting vision for sure. So, how can the community get involved with Yamgo right now?
The best way is to head to clubyamgo.com
Hmm.
and sign up to be a part of Club Yamgo. We're running a launch event soon. So the way it works is there will be 100 members that we will select to be part of Club Yamgo. And each of those members will be allowed to invite as many new members as they want. And they get referral rewards based on the people they sign up and things like that. But that community that we're attempting to grow and the rewards we're trying to give out and the gaming experience and how it all connects with Yamgo and Adsdax, that's the best way to just get involved. And it's minimal effort. If you have your HBAR in a wallet, you sign up to Yamgo, you can get something for it. You can get your Yamiverse NFTs. You can get your Yamgo token.
Ryan, I appreciate you taking some time today. Do you have any final thoughts before we let you go?
No, just thank you to people like you and others in the community who are really helping to drive not only Yamgo along, but also Hedera as well.
Well, we certainly appreciate doing it. Good luck with both Adsdax and Yamgo.
Okay, thank you very much.